What if the ice beneath our feet was hiding treasures worth millions of dollars, extinct creatures from 76 million years ago, and even living organisms that could help us find life on Mars? This video reveals the most shocking discoveries scientists have pulled from frozen ice around the world. By the end of this video, viewers will discover how these frozen finds are not just ancient curiosities, but active clues that scientists are using right now to potentially bring extinct species back to life, find extraterrestrial life, and unlock medical breakthroughs that could change humanity forever. The frozen dragon. But first, imagine discovering a creature so massive and terrifying that scientists called it the most bizarre animal that ever flew. In a remote Canadian park, researchers discovered something extraordinary buried beneath layers of thick ice. The skeleton had been frozen for millions of years, and it took experts decades to identify what they had found. The creature was a new genus of pterosaur with wingspans stretching over 16 feet. These weren't just large flying reptiles. Their heads were 3.5 times the size of their bodies, making them appear almost alien. Scientists named this discovery Cryodragon boreas, which literally translates to frozen dragon of the north winds. These massive predators soared above the dinosaurs 76 million years ago, and experts describe them as the biggest, meanest, and most bizarre animals that ever took to the skies. The mountain treasure. What would happen if someone found a mysterious box worth more than most people's houses just sticking out of the snow? In 2013, a young mountaineer was climbing Mont Blanc, one of Western Europe's tallest peaks, when something metallic caught his eye. Poking through the snow was a strange metal container that had been hidden for decades. When authorities pried it open, they discovered it was filled with precious rubies, emeralds, and sapphires. The box was valued at over $200,000 and likely belonged to a passenger from one of two flights from India that crashed into the mountain more than 50 years ago. The climber immediately turned it over to authorities, who are still searching for the rightful heir to this frozen fortune. The baby mammoth. Now imagine finding a baby animal that had been perfectly preserved for longer than human civilization has existed. In 2007, a reindeer herder in northwest Siberia was out with his sons when he spotted something unusual in the ice. What he discovered was a frozen mammoth calf that scientists would later name Luba. This wasn't just any mammoth, it was the best preserved mammoth mummy ever found at the time. Luba had been frozen for 41,800 years and was only 30 to 35 days old when she died. Her preservation was so perfect that she's roughly the same size as a large calf from trunk to tail. Today, Luba travels to museums around the world, giving people a direct glimpse into the Ice Age. The Iceman's last meal. What if scientists could tell us exactly what someone ate for their final meal 5,000 years ago? In 1991, two hikers crossing the Italian Alps discovered what they thought was a recently deceased hiker. When authorities recovered the body, they realized it was much older than anyone could have imagined. The man, nicknamed Otzi the Iceman, had been naturally mummified in the ice for over 5,000 years. Scientists studying Otzi's stomach contents made an incredible discovery. His last meal was dry cured meat, remarkably similar to the bacon people eat today. Even more shocking, researchers have identified at least 19 of his living relatives somewhere in Central Europe right now, proving our ancestors had far more in common with us than anyone ever realized. Bringing extinct flowers back to life. But what if frozen discoveries could actually reverse extinction itself? Scientists researching ancient squirrel burrows in Siberia found something that would challenge everything we know about bringing species back from extinction. One squirrel had hidden seeds deep beneath the ground that had been encased in ice for 32,000 years. These seeds belonged to Silene stenophila, a flower that had been extinct for millennia. Amazingly, scientists were able to extract plant tissue from the inside of ancient seeds and grow an entire crop of living flowers. They successfully reintroduced this previous extinct species to natural habitats across the world, proving that ice can preserve life well enough to bring it back from the dead. The balloon expedition mystery. Sometimes the ice reveals human mysteries that have puzzled the world for decades. In 1930, Norwegian scientists exploring the Arctic Ocean reached White Island, a dangerous icy landmass where no human had ever set foot. They were shocked to discover a tip of the small boat protruding from the snow. Inside the frozen vessel, they found scientific equipment and personal items, including a jacket with the monogram S.A. Andre. They had discovered the wreck of the famous Andre Arctic balloon expedition from 1897. Swedish explorers led by Andre had attempted to reach the North Pole by hydrogen balloon, but the world lost contact with them completely. The discovery revealed that their balloon had crashed on White Island just 2 days after departing Sweden, solving a 33-year-old mystery. Activating mammoth cells. What if scientists could take frozen mammoth tissue and actually make it come alive again? In 2010, researchers discovered the best preserved woolly mammoth ever found in Siberian permafrost. They named her Yuka after the small village where she was discovered. Yuka had been frozen for 39,000 years and was believed to be around 6 to 8 years old when she died. In 2019, scientists reported something that sounds like science fiction, but is completely real. They successfully activated cells taken from Yuka's tissue, bringing 39,000-year-old mammoth cells back to life. This breakthrough suggests that one day, woolly mammoths might actually roam the Earth again. Hidden mountain ranges. Antarctica appears to be mostly flat, covered in snow and ice, but what if that's completely wrong? Scientists studying Antarctica believe the continent was relatively flat except for a few small hills scattered across the landscape. In the early 2000s, researchers examining the Gamburtsev Mountains were shocked to discover that what appeared to be small rocky hills were actually something much more impressive. Using radar technology, they discovered that these hills were actually the peaks of a gigantic mountain formation buried inside a mile of snow. The mountains are around 10,000 feet tall and sprawl across 750 miles, roughly the same size as the European Alps, except they're completely hidden under tons of ice. The mystery of Lake Enigma. What if there was a lake that shouldn't exist, filled with life that could help NASA find aliens? Deep in Antarctica lies Lake Enigma, a body of water that defies explanation. The lake sits in one of the harshest environments on Earth, where temperatures plummet to minus 41 degrees Fahrenheit. In this desert-like environment, the lake should lose 7 million cubic feet of water every year, yet it mysteriously remains filled. Italian scientists recently discovered that beneath 36 feet of permanent ice, Lake Enigma contains living microorganisms that may not exist anywhere else on Earth. These ancient bacteria have survived in complete isolation for hundreds of thousands of years, and studying them could help NASA understand how life might exist on the frozen moons of Jupiter and Saturn. Ships frozen in time. Imagine finding a ship from 170 years ago with dinner still set on the tables and luggage still packed in the rooms. In 1845, Sir John Franklin embarked on an expedition to the North Pole using two ships, HMS Erebus and HMS Terror. Both ships were lost to the icy waters, and their fate remained a mystery for over a century. In 2016, researchers finally discovered HMS Terror in the Arctic waters. Despite being lost for 170 years, the freezing waters had preserved the ship in pristine condition. Scientists described it as frozen in time. Dinner plates and glasses were still on shelves, beds and desks remain in perfect order, and even passengers' luggage appeared to be in excellent condition. But here's the most mind-blowing discovery that ties everything together. All these frozen discoveries are connected by one incredible fact. Ice doesn't just preserve objects and creatures from the past, it's actively helping scientists unlock the future. The mammoth cells are being used to potentially bring extinct species back to life. The Antarctic microorganisms are providing clues about extraterrestrial life. The perfectly preserved ancient materials are revealing medical breakthroughs that could change medicine forever. Right now, scientists are drilling deeper into Antarctic ice than ever before, and they're finding evidence that our frozen planet is hiding discoveries that could revolutionize everything we know about life, death, and the possibility of life beyond Earth. The ice isn't just preserving the past, it's unlocking humanity's future. These frozen discoveries prove that our planet's greatest secrets aren't buried in ancient tombs or hidden in remote jungles. They're waiting beneath layers of ice, ready to change everything we thought we knew about our world and beyond.